Well, shalom, welcome to the 36th International Haifa Film Festival. And a festival is always a way to celebrate films. And I'm very honored and humbled. My name is Eran Polishuk. I'm going to moderate this conversation with the wonderful director of the film, The Audition. We have here Ina Weiss. Ina, welcome.
Thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you.
Thank you so much for doing the film. We are very honored to screen it at the film festival. In another circumstance, we were really happy that you could be with us, but thanks to technology, we're happy that this conversation is going to be spread all over the world. I'm going to start. Okay, so the film The Audition, Das Vorspiel. Did I said it correct in German?
Yes, Das Vorspiel. It's correct.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to tell to the audience that watch us, this is a spoiler alert. We're going to talk a lot about the film. So if you didn't watch the film yet, stop here, go watch the film at the film festival platform and enjoy it, and come back to your Ina talking about the film. So yeah, so the audition. So The Audition is a story about a gifted violin teacher and a very intense relationship with her new student, and also with the other men in her life. So I'm going to start, Ina, with your permission, with a very generic questions, very banal questions, where the idea came from.
So the point of departure for the story was a woman torn inside, struggling with herself and with others, with a husband, with the son, with the student, and we developed the story around her, layer by layer. And Anna believes that everything must be subordinated by music or to music, and she's looking for the absolute. And this puts her under a lot of pressure. And basically her son and the student are a little bit like extensions of her arm. So for me, it's also a story about violence arises. And children are you can say the weakest link in the chain, and they are predestined to be victims in our society. And so the story is also about the family. So family is the smallest social cell in which different desires come together. Yeah.
Wonderful, thank you. So I do want to talk about Tanina Host, the wonderful Indian actress, but I'm going to wait with talking about her character Anna, and I want to talk about, as you mentioned, about the male characters in the film. Of course, we have the husband Simon Abakurayan, the wonderful Simon Abakurayan, and you know, I feel like I saw him in many films. Also, the Israeli audience know him from the Vivian Amsalem trilogy by the late wonderful Ronit Elkabetz and Shlomi Elkabetz, and he was phenomenal there. And then I saw him, I think, in James Bond film, and he's like different. You know, you see him, he's one of those really brilliant actors that puts himself into the character. So we have him, we have the character of her colleague / maybe lover, we have the character of her father, and of course we have two other characters, her son and Alexander, her new student. And all of those men, you know what, maybe I'll even start with the kids. They're very, very different. One is very soft, and one, oh, I'm sorry, you can hear my dog bark. I hope it's okay. So you so I hope so we have the son that is very soft, and on the other hand we have Alexander that is much more delicate. And then we have the father is very, 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 very strong. But then we also see him in a very soft, very vulnerable position. And we saw it also both with the little kids. And then we see the husband and or colleague slash lover, and they're very strong, and on the same time, they're very soft. So I'm curious to hear about your point of view about the male characters as males, not particularly each one of the, the surrounding of the males of the leading character of Anna. I hope it all came to a sense, my question.
So I think I have to speak about everyone. I can't say the whole man, So Simon Abkarian, I saw him too in this Israeli brilliant movie. He was so good. And since the music world is international, I wanted to replicate this through the cast. And Nina is a strong actress, and so he needs strong men. And the research took quite a while. And when I met Simon Abkarian in Paris, I soon realized that he is the right husband for Nina, with his warmth, with his humor. He's such an intelligent actor. He played a long time in with Ariane Mishkin dans le Théâtre du Soleil.
Yep.
And to work with him, with Simon, and with Jens and Nina was wonderful. We spoke the same language despite of different languages. And so, and the young boy, that was during research of the music high school in Berlin. I met Ilya, who plays the student, and I accompanied him for a long time, and before shooting. And he did not mind the camera. He was very free. He was very relaxed, and the research for the sun was complicated because it was looking like a needle in a high sack. He had to be able to play violin, hockey, French, and of course he had to be able to act. And so to put it's like I'm looking for a picture. It is to bring all these characters together makes the picture. And so it was really for me a very long research to find the right people. And Jens in Copenhagen. I met him. I know him from the movies of Lars von Trier.
Oh, wow.
And it was a little bit like a puzzle for me. And then Nina in the middle of everything, yeah. And when I started writing this, I thought of Nina to play Anna. But while we were writing, the character got older, and I had to change my mind. And then the character got younger again, and I was finally able to ask Nina after all. So, yeah, but I don't know if this was your question.
I will adapt it. I will switch it. And you mentioned Ilya. Let's talk about the kids. By the way, Ilya is an actor. It looks like he's a brilliant violin musician.
He is excellent. And it was funny too. Yeah, he was excellent. And during the breaks in shooting, he practiced to prepare for a competition. And to make him look overworked and to look him under pressure, in the film he had to run up and down the stairs. So again and again. So that
wow.
And he was really able to have concentration a long time, the whole day. But in Germany, you can shoot with children only 5 hours a day. I don't know how it is in Israel.
Wow.
How is it in Israel? Is it how many hours you can shoot with children?
Much more than 5. I believe it's about like a full day from 8 to 9 hours.
Wow. Okay. So that was not easy. So we had only 28 days for shooting and 5 hours a day with the kids. And so it was really like that, So And no, they were good. It was the first time for him standing before a camera for the student.
Yes, I remember. You can see that. You can see when he's in pressure, like he became red here. You can really feel what's going on with them.
Yes, but you know, he was able to play 8 hours with his violin, and so because of that, he runs the steps up and down to becoming red a little bit in his face. Because for him to play a long time was no problem. He's used to do it.
Wonderful. So I want to talk about Nina Hoss, and I just want to say I discovered Nina. She's really wonderful, and she's doing a wonderful job in the film around like 13 and 14 years ago when I saw her in old Tristan Petzold films. She like played in Yella and in Barbara and in Phoenix and I think in Jericho as well. And I remember the first time I saw her in Yella, there was the part when she crossed from East Germany. There was a scene there. She crossed from East Germany to West Germany, and the car fall into the river. And when she comes up on the other side, there was a born of the character. And then I said, wow, this actress is here to stay. Now I know I read that you are a very established actress as well. You're pretty much the same age around. Can you please work about how was it to work with Nina from your experience as an actress and in this plot?
So when shooting, Nina immerses herself completely in the character, and she brings out so many nuances. So for me, it was really a gift to work with her. And so I know, because you asked me how it is to act, or to direct as an actor. Yeah.
You're two very established actors. Of course, you're the director, but what did you bring to work together with her?
So don't understand the question. So you mean how it is to direct as an actress, or only is it?
Yes.
Yes. So, but I think, you know, the fact that I'm as also an actress plays a subordinated role for me when directing. I believe it does for the others as well. So nevertheless, of course, it helps to know certain feelings when trying to bring a scene to a certain point. And I know what it is like to be in front of the camera, and I know what kind of courage and effort it often takes to face certain situations. So I try to create a space where the actors feel comfortable, and I hope that it worked.
I think it totally worked because there is a lot of silence in the film. As the tempo is very low. I'm talking in the spirit of the music. The tempo is very low. Like sometimes they don't even need to talk. You just can see basically what they're saying without talking. So I'm as a film buff, I'm giving you all the compliment for that. Now, before
trust, it has to be to trust each other, and I think the actors and the whole theme. So it's right to say theme. It's team.
The theme, yeah.
The theme, that we trust each other.
And you can see it even in a very intimate scenes when she goes and she sees her husband in the toilet, you know, in another film, or maybe you think it would be very embarrassing, but it felt like a real relationship. Bottom line, the feel in the film, and this is the biggest achievement, it feels like real relationship. So well done.
Thank you. But for Simon, he said, why on a toilet? He knew that it's the right place, but for him, I think it was not easy sitting on a toilet. He said, I can't sit in here with this wonderful woman, Nina. I can't sit on the toilet. But I say, you know, if the same scene takes place in a kitchen, it's a different scene. So to show that it's normal to be together, that was for me a good place on the toilet. So for the intimacy.
Yeah. So talking about kitchen, before that, before the conversation, I sat and I made some notes, and I felt that food is, maybe it's just me, maybe it's because I'm hungry, I don't know. The food is, there is a motif of food in the film, and I even wrote it. It starts with, and even it feels like, you know, that the food scenes, it's like a full dinner that go from the end to the beginning, because we're starting with the desserts, and then there is the thing on black tea or green tea, and then there is this cut when his blood start, the blood start to go down from his nose, and then cut it's to the flesh, to the beef ground meat. I felt it. And after that, and also, of course, when they're sitting in the restaurant, I'll take this, or I'll take this, or I'll take this. And then the chicken, it feels like I see I have everything here. And then we have the fish. And of course, the cheese. Should I take the cheese? No, it's dry. No, it's salami. At the end, they're just sitting with the most basic thing, bread and butter and cheese. So I'm just curious. There is the croissant scene, of course, our colleague eating the croissant, and they're all talking about the sons. So I'm just curious, was it in your mind, or it's just out there?
You know, food plays a big role in my life. And I think it tells a lot about family, what they're eating. At home, the father and the old aunt, they're eating bread, butter, and cheese. So it's very German, you know, 6 o'clock. Bread and cheese and butter. Simon said, so dry. So what are you eating? So yeah, that's Germany. And so I think it for me, food tells a lot about the situation and about family. So, and at the end of the film, where the family eat 2 cheese, bread, and butter, that's they came down. Yeah, and she has it's for her to complicate. She has nothing else in her mind than to put all these things on the table. She is really, in this moment, she's so crazy, because she knows what the son did at school, and she's confused. And that's too something. She is not able to cook something now. So it tells more than only to eat. It tells that she's confused and she's only able to put these things on the table.
I hear you. By the way, you know, I have many German friends that are spread all over the world, and I remember asked some of my German friends that live in Israel, and I thought, what do you miss the most? And they told me bread. So I know bread.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the basic thing.
Yeah, it's a basic thing. And we have many different breads here in Germany. Many different. Yeah.
So I'm talking, by the way, you know, I'm sitting now at my parents' house, and my parents are Russians. And I remember that my mother told me, the piano is here next to me. And I remember my mother told me that she can remember until today how she was a kid, like a small kid, and my late grandmother made her sit every day for 3 hours to sit on the piano, and she did. And I'm thinking, I'm taking all that for the biggest thing that I took from the film is to be a lot in control. She's very in control. It's music, you know, and then she's losing it. And that's what I take from the film, to be in very controlled, like to be a musician. I felt, you know, I felt horrible in the scene when the bow flew. I said, and then she came back. I said, if it's going to happen one more time, like I'm closing the film. It's like, it's gonna kill her. So this is what I took basically the most from the film. And I would love to hear about you from this, to be not in control, to be in control, and then to go all over out of control.
That's, you know, there are many contradictions in the profession of your musician. It's what you say. You play on one thing, and at the same time, you have to think ahead about something else. So you have to control yourself, and on the other side, you had you need to have a plan, and still you have to keep flexible. That's always these little bit like that, in your mind.
Yeah. So when now I'm thinking, I remember. Sorry.
Everything okay?
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I was looking on my list. Everything needs to be, in control. Now, the dog that barked, it was out of control. Let's talk.
Your mother played piano?
My mother played the piano all her childhood. When they moved to Israel about 48 years ago, and she was in her early 20s, she begged from her parents to bring the piano with them from Russia to Israel, and they brought them. It's here, it's a memory of my childhood. The piano, I never played the piano, no, but maybe I did not.
Another instrument?
I played the flute for a while.
The small one or the big one?
The small one. But unfortunately, and I think many people, they're asking in their later age, what is the thing that you feel that the most disappointing thing that you didn't do? And I'm always saying that I don't play an instrument, because I think music is wonderful. But, we're living in COVID-19. Maybe after this conversation, maybe, who knows? I would love to play the guitar. And I by the way, does Nina Host, she played the violin. How was it for her, this experience to play a violinist?
So for the experience, you must ask her, but I think it was quite tough, because the pieces were not easy, from Bach, le Chaconne. It's very hard to play, but she learned it for 1 year, and she had a very, very good teacher. And he practiced every day. And so at the end, she said it was for her very good, because to play violin is a little bit like singing. My teacher said, I played a long time violin. I played 13 years violin. And so my teacher said always, it's like singing. It's like singing. And for her, she said that during playing this instrument, she realized, or she developed the character of Anna. So it was for her a good time, very necessary to learn this instrument, because then she realized who she is as being Anna.
Wonderful. I really feel that this film, and really thank you so much for doing it, first of all, and just sending it. I found the film really the unique in it, that it really speaks. It speaks from itself. I'm just saying that because I don't want to dig in for all the entire process of the film, and eventually we do have some industry people that watch this thing. And if I may ask, I know the film was at TIFF. Where was it premiered?
Premiered, it was in America, in Toronto. In Toronto, and then
TIFF, it's Toronto, yeah.
Yes, and then in San Sebastian.
Wonderful. So it was like last year, and now we're a year after. I know the film premiered in virtual cinema in June in New York, and unfortunately, your film, like so many other hundreds of thousands of films, you're in a gap year, and it's very fortunate that you can't have what you deserve. Can you tell us about the reactions about the film show has been screened in Germany, because I know the theaters are now open. Can you please tell about the experience of the journey of the film?
So it starts in January, in French last year, and here in January, and then till beginning of March, and then we had the virus, like everybody in the world. And then it stopped. Yeah. And then in different countries, the film came out in Finland and in Holland and in the Netherlands and in Austria, but digital, in America, digital. And that, yeah, that's hard. You're a little bit like cut up, cut off everything. But it's a feeling of many, many people. Now you're living in a lockdown, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And that's this feeling of cut off. Everybody knows that now. And so what I'm doing, I write a new script. I'm at home and I have other ideas and I'm writing, and that's good for myself. And yeah, I tried to do something for the film, to speak with you, and because of that, I'm very, very happy to talk to you. That I to hear what you think about the film, about the movie, and that's because why you're making movies to be in contact and to understand what you say about the movie and what you see in this film. That's the interesting thing. And so you're totally right. It's not easy if you wanted to travel with the film to many countries, and now you have to be at home. But that's life. That's not the baddest thing, I think. I have many friends, like you, like everybody who can't be on the stage anymore since half a year, and they have no money anymore. And I know a good friend had a restaurant and it's closed, totally closed now, and no money. And for the culture is at the end in Germany too. We got money, of course, but you can sit in the airplane. I was in Bari in Italy some weeks ago. That was the only festival this summer I went to. So, but you know, sitting like that in the airplane, and in the theater you need 1.50 meters, or in the cinema, and I think that's not correct. You can't say on this you can go to be in the airplane very close together. In the theater it's not impossible, but because you need culture, you need the interpretation of the world, you need another view to this on this world, and so I think culture is necessary. And I'm a little bit sad that we are the last on the list.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I think everything you said is totally correct, and I also think that culture is essential. And of course, many of my colleagues are without a job and struggling. And many of them are also trying to adapt themselves. Of course, there are the ones that have maybe a little bit more stronger. So they're taking a deep breath and they're saying, we'll adapt ourselves to the new world. But eventually, an artist is an artist. It's very, very hard to say to an artist, okay, go do something else. But this is what he's been training to do. You can't just kick him out of what is. We have in society, we have to let the culture survive. So I'm very happy. Even the Haifa International Film Festival, that was supposed to be hybrid version, and 3 weeks ago they knew that it's going to be online. But this is wonderful, because I want to finish the conversation optimistic, because thanks to the COVID-19, a new platform has been invented, and we can make this conversation, although we are not together. So I do want to hope, and I do want to thank you so much for joining today. And I really hope, I'm even sending this message to the Haifa Film Festival. Guys, next year, please bring Dina, please bring her as a guest, as she deserves.
I would love to come. I really would love to come, because 30 years ago, I was in Israel 30 years ago.
Wow.
So a long time. Yeah, so I wish to see you perhaps next year.
Hopefully next year in Haifa. So in advice, I wish the film, first of all, an amazing journey. There is another way, after the theatrical adventure. I do hope it will work on virtual cinema and then later on the VOD streaming. And I'm treasuring this moment to watch the film. And I hope you will join us for other events during the festival. And those who listen to us, please watch the film, The Audition. It's available through the entire 10 days of the festival. So thank you very much, Ina. And
thank you. Hope to see you next year.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. Ciao.
Thank you. Ciao.